YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Lucky Six's hobby/channel update. Hope you're all very well on this fine January day. We are basically going to go through what's happened in the last month or 2 months, maybe. It's been pretty hectic our side in a good way. A lot has happened, not just with the channel, but with us personally as well, and lots to talk about on this one. So we're going to get straight stuck in with the fluffy ones, I guess. This is one of my best pictures, actually. I've got a few of these. I've got this one and another one coming up. Again, the family picket line, I don't know what you call it, the construction line, I think is a better word, continues, and progress is being made on little armies. I've even got my old man involved now, who I'm very happy with. They still enjoying some hobby time with everyone, which is cool. Even playing with some of the models as well, and that's a little bit of a spoiler to what's coming up, what my daughter Jessica is playing with. So yeah, just to update you that the kids are still involved. Future 9th Agers, here they come, I'm sure. Going on to the next thing, quite drastically really, from the last one, I have been accepted into Team England. No one is shocked more than me. However, it has been really, really fun the last month and a half with the team. Hugh Scarlin is the captain. A few new other faces on Team England as well. I think it's a bit of a changing of the guard in terms of who's on it, or at least some people are taking steps away, which opened up some spots on the team. And I applied and got in, and yeah, you're now looking at an ETC player somehow, which is funny and good. And I'm really pleased to be able to go to ETC. More actually to go to ETC than to be with England. Although to do it with England is fantastic. It's just something I didn't ever think would happen, and I'm really pleased now to actually look at 9th Age a little bit more competitively than I was before, and really try and get better as a player, and hopefully not get mullered at ETC and let the team down. That's the plan. But we'll see. I must admit, I've played as part of the team. We're doing a log, and a log of games. I've done 17 in the last 27, I think when this goes out, 27 days, which is so many games, and I don't know how people do it. I honestly don't. I'm knackered and I have no time, but it's been really, really cool. I've played a few different armies and a few different lists as well for Team England, and in some different practices. Really excited, and much more to come for you guys, especially with some Team England content, some updates of what I'm doing. I've got a practice weekend this weekend, which is really cool. So you'll definitely, if you follow me on Twitter, there'll be some updates on Twitter for just some pictures of the weekend and what's going on. So do follow me there. And yeah, much more updates to come. But I guess for now, all I'll say is I'm on Team England, and there are some games to be had. I'll try and keep up the good work in terms of games there. Most of which have pictures as well, so you'll be able to see most of these coming up, which is really cool. And I'm looking to share it all with you guys as much as possible, the whole process. So if you've got any questions on Team England, let me know in the comments. I'll answer them there, and I'll probably get a host of questions if there are any for the next hobby update. Yeah, really cool. It's been mental to even think that I could get onto Team England. But I had a decent year. Obviously got into Masters, which we're going to talk about next. And yeah, looking to get even crazy. Looking up next, of course, I couldn't do an update without mentioning the Masters. Kind of rammed it through down you guys' throats for the last month. But that has been and gone, and even earlier last week the first bat rep came out on it as well, which is really cool, and just everything about it. Matt did a great job organising it. I had such a fun time. 5 amazing people. 2 guys I've not played before actually as well, which is really cool. And yeah, just a great time. Hopefully most of you saw the live stream, which was fantastically organised by Mr. Hyper G and friends. Obviously Matt was on there as well, and we had loads of guests throughout the weekend as well. This is just a host of them, and showing Rory's game against Kieran, which was the army swap, ironically. Which is, 5 really cool games on there. If you might have seen myself versus Wes as well. But yeah, loads of. It's really cool to be doing the master stuff and providing you guys with some top level games with some top players. And we got most people that played on the live stream onto the live stream to talk as well, so there was little bits of insight. Obviously the people commentating and the guests commentating coming on were great throughout. I think we nearly had 10 different people from literally all over the world, which was fantastic to see and to be a part of, really. So it's really good background watching if you want to go and watch that, and put that on while you're painting or whatever. I know a few people said that they're going to do that and have done that as well. Thanks very much everyone that joined along while it was live. That was really cool, really good for the people that were commentating, and HyperG certainly enjoyed that a lot. And really overall we're pleased to bring it, and we'll certainly be doing more live streams in the future, hopefully not just Masters but some other things as well. So stay tuned, I guess. Obviously this is the schedule, and they've all been released now, but if anybody does want to go back and look at all the content providers, we had a really good support from everyone, and obviously Paired Weapon Podcast, Funny Super Bowl Game Podcast, I'll go through them all because why not. Hammer Time helped out on some bits, AAA Wargaming, which is a new YouTube one, Cavalier's Tale, and some others dotted around as well. It was really, really fun, and thank you guys as content creators for helping out in that point of view as well. Had some other guests on these podcasts as well, and videos, so go check them out. There's a load on our channel, but maybe I'll put the link in the description, or is that just something I say? I don't know. Anyway, do go check out all that. It's really good content, really good fun, and hopefully it gives a all-round perspective on the Masters as a whole. But I won't spoil the bat reps for people that want to watch that and don't know what happened. My aim for the Masters was, well, first and foremost, don't come bottom. Be at least involved in every battle, even if you do get things. I didn't want to get zeroed. I didn't want to get 20-0. That was a big on my goal list. And win a game was essentially it. I'd love to go for podium, and maybe I did. Spoiler, I didn't. But I won't spoil the rest, and I won't spoil who won and everything. Go check out these guys. Go check out the podcasts. Go check out the YouTube channels, because they did a great job on everything. We stayed at the Croxdale Inn, which was essentially a curry house in a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Kudos to people that get that reference. It was really nice place, really sound, very very traditional, and the pub was cool. People were great. Virtually half of the people that were there at the Masters and Masters Open stayed there. So it was a really good atmosphere. Myself and Hybg got there early. So we had a practice game in the room. Proper floor hammer. That was awesome. Yeah, we just had a great time overall, and thanks to the Crocs Alien and thanks to Matty Wilson for organising it. Really, just showing you some things. That was really good. We basically played a practice of my first game, and this isn't on a bat rap. We just played this for fun. The towel was a hill, for example. Just really fun, and Hybg beat me 20-0, so that really good for confidence boosting up for the Masters. That was great. Obviously check the bat rep earlier this week to see if that continued in the actual game or not, but we'll see. Bringing it over slightly to hobby, I guess. This is my army I took to Masters, and I was really pleased with it. I was really pleased with how it turned out, and I was really pleased with the list building. I was on an hour in between what I should take and whether I should be high elves or warriors or vampires, because vampires look good from the last update. I couldn't really get over chosen how good they were, and they got cheaper in the update as well. But I was happy in the end with choosing high elves, and obviously they had the new additions to them, the dragon initiates, which is right up my street, really, if I'm honest. So yeah, took a list that was crazy. It was really, really fun. It had no BSB. It had 2 princes, 5 single flying models, sword masters, which I've never taken for high elves. Traditionally, I don't like silver helms, but they just made sense in this core setup. And then Grey Watchers, so a lot of stuff I hadn't taken before, and it was really fun. I was really pleased with it. I was pleased enough with how it did. I won't again, not going into everything, bat rep wise and everything, but hobby wise as well. I was really pleased to have an army. I did a few different things through the hobby, and I really tried to challenge myself with the look of it as well, and I wanted to get into that a bit because I was quite excited to share with you some of the things that I did. Firstly, which wasn't firstly, it was actually the last thing I did, but was the first time I've tried a printed standard bearer thing. I had to create the standard bearer because it was the only model I didn't have in the Sword Masters, and I was really pleased with how it came out. Obviously, it's just printed and whatever, but I used a bit of that's a cocktail stick for the silver thing that I've stuck onto it, and obviously printed it out so that it was like that, and then folded it down. And yeah, I'm pleased with how it came out. Double-sided, obviously looks better than I could ever draw. I guess the next thing to try is a freehand standard, but I was a bit time constrained for this. So yeah, I was really pleased, and it looks really cool, really nice finish to it. So that was a nice addition to my something I'd never tried before, and I wanted to try out for this. So there's that. I magnetized everything. I've actually done this before, but it was nice to get everything magnetized on trays, and I had to double these up because they're actually quite thin. I think they're 2mm magnets, so you can see on some of them that they've had to be doubled up. And yeah, always good. The trouble with these ones was that the Sword Masters were metal. They're the old metal models. So they weren't. I couldn't turn the tray upside down quite. They're not that good magnets. But yeah, I did that on them and the silver helms as well. Just cutting out bits of the bottom bits of the base, which was a ball ache to do, but in the end it wasn't too hard. And then using the sheets of metal. I forget where you get them from. I'll perhaps look for the next hobby update. But yeah, that was really good. Magnetised them all. First time I've tried 3D printing, and I didn't try. I got them off Dan T. Scabfat himself printed me off some elven ruins, I guess these are. All different sizes. I wanted a few different ones for unit fillers. So it's the first time I tried unit fillers, and added one to the ancient dragon base, which I'll skip over because I'm going into that a bit later. And several on 40mm bases so that they could act as four for my infantry, which is really cool. The little ones I was either going to use as more unit fillers or just as single models, but I also ended up using one of them for my Grey Watchers as a token for the Fate of Miasma, which is really cool and really useful, actually. So that was cool. Again, another thing I thought I'd try out. And of course, the pièce de résistance, the big one really, was the Ancient Dragon that I tried. And I must admit, this is a good. Well, the model it's a great model. The picture is a really good picture, and it was a lot. It looks a lot better than the work that I put into it. The base I put quite a lot of work into, and you can see the finished result there. But the actual model was only a couple of coats of. It was white base. I'll see if I can get a picture. So, talking you through the process because I think it's quite a cool model to do. I bought a model from Lord of the Print, which is a pre-supported SELs. They basically print them out themselves in different sizes, whatever, and you get them. It was annoyingly though on a round base, so I had to do a little bit. I had to snip off the rim of it and stick it to a normal a square based, which obviously that I needed it on. And I was umming and ahhing really at how to make that look good, because you have the space, and if I go back, I ended up doing a few different things to sort of blend it into the base itself. So I didn't really know to start off with what to do. I should say though that the model came brilliantly. It's really, really detailed, and really easy to assemble, which some other models aren't. So I can't recommend these guys enough. I think it was about £60 for the model, which isn't too bad, I don't think. And I must admit, I fell in love with the model anyway. You can have it different poses, open-mouthed or not. I went for open-mouthed, and I'd definitely go there again for some of their printed models. I spray painted it white, and then did a couple of coats of blue and the yellow bone contrast paints, which is pretty much it. I really was that simple, really. I use sticking with the spray paint. I created my own spray paint thing. As you can see, it's as gross as anything. It's just a couple of pizza boxes, which I was very happy with, and used some tape to tape up the holes or whatever. So another check on the hobby checklist. I created my own, I don't even know what it's called, spray box. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But I'm interested to hear what other people's tricks are with indoor spray painting, because I did this, and obviously that nothing was sprayed upon, which is good, but the fumes, oh man, I had to leave the room for a day. Also, another check on the hobby list is I used some green stuff for the first time ever. One of the things, I'd never used it before, and I was a bit worried that I'd just muck it up. But my idea for this was to have like a mound of rock and mud, and then built into this green land, and yeah, and that was my first try of that, which was really interesting and really cool. It's not that hard actually. In terms of, I think I skipped a step as well because I didn't sand it down, which I got told you should do, but I didn't, and it was relatively easy actually to use and mold. So anybody not trying it, I would recommend it. Although I'm certainly not done it at a pro level, but I'd definitely try it again, and I wasn't put off by the experience, should we say. So yeah, that was cool. I sort of meshed it into this, and I used a bit of green and browns for the mud or sand or whatever, and based all of them like so. Again, even the terrain was just a simple null oil, I think, wash, which kind of ended up by chance looking a bit marbly, which I was really pleased with and very happy to stick with. I was going to add some colour, but I actually thought it looked really nice just as marble. I did try a sandstone effect as well, which I liked as well, but I thought for this army the marble seemed to pop better. So I stuck with that on the whole, and just added some green grass. They're very traditional, I guess, old style GW green bases, which I quite like as a theme for my high elves. And there's the finished result. The base itself actually was really detailed. It has a little tiny crab this side of the skulls and things, but also the other side a lizard. So again, as I said, the actual detail of it was superb, really, really good. I liked how the rocks turned out. I liked how the green stuff bedded into the rest of the base as well. Perhaps could have added a few more rocks and things around it, but I was happy in the end. And yeah, it looks decent enough for not a lot of work, if I'm honest, in terms of the dragon. A few details that I still have to do around the face. The eyes and the teeth need a little bit more detail too. This is where I'm at the minute. But yeah, it was really cool, and it was a really nice model to push around the table as an ancient dragon. Again, never used it before, so I was very excited and pleased with how it turned out. Yeah, and I'm gonna go. I'll go back slightly, so excuse the flash of everything. And this is how the whole army turned out. So as you can see, I've got some unit fillers in the Sea Guard and the Swordmasters. They're the same colour as the terrain on the dragon as well, so I quite liked that. And the Fey Miasma in the Grey Watchers token sort of pans out that base as well, which is, yeah, I really, really pleased with how the army. Let me know your thoughts, what I could have done better, whether you like the look of the army and things like that. But I was really pleased that for Masters I was able to add some hobby into it, and it not just be about the list and playing the list, which of course that was a major part, but I could also try green stuff in, unit fillers, the standard, etc. And yeah, just some cool models and a cool looking army, I thought. But yeah, there we go. It wasn't the only hobby that I'd done though. That was the main one over the last month or so. But as the picture is sort of presented, going back to our last hobby update, you'll remember that I got a load of these sent to me from Gobbo. And I wanted to see if I could try some different basing based on. So I've done if you remember last time, I with the beast herds, I've sort of done the shrubbery made off a standard base, a plain base, which is fun and a good effect. But I wanted to try something different, and I got these printed off. Just they're actually toppers, base toppers, but I won't be using them as toppers, I'll get the rest of them printed properly as bases from Gobbo, which is cool. Thanks to Gobbo for that. And this is how it turned out, which I didn't think was too bad. I thought, again, I've added some with the flowers and things. It was simply basing everything. Well, it did take a lot of a decent amount of work, to be fair. But once the bottom was sort of based with a bit of mud here, a bit of grass here, colours wise, and then the stump and everything like that, it was pretty straightforward. With the final touches being adding some grass bits. I've got this bluey green grass which I've sprinkled on in little tiny bits, and the main sort of standard green grass. But yeah, I thought it looked pretty cool as a top, and I think for my Sylvan Elves, I think I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna get all these printed off as bases and paint them up like that. They were fairly straightforward and quite fun to paint as well. Yeah, and let me know your thoughts on what you think that looked like, what I could add to that to maybe make it pop a bit more, but I didn't want to add too much because I wanted the bases to speak for themselves, really, and to do a lot of that from that point of view. So yeah, that's potentially what my Sylvan Elf base is going to look like. And of course, I managed to put together a base for, sorry, not a base, a model of the Sylvan Elves as well, which means I'm now all, the word's escaping me, put together. I'm assembled, haha. PTG assembled. Obviously not the base that it's going to be on. I just borrowed a base for show, but yeah, really nice to get a load of all my tree stuff. So I've got one tree man, a dryad a dryad character, and a load of dryads all done up. I've still got to put 6 treekin together, which will be fun. I must admit that this is very, very spiky and was quite hard to put together, to actually assemble. But now it's together, it's fine. But I didn't enjoy putting it together, so we'll see how the painting goes on that as well. But yeah, I'm excited to get them done. Probably in the background, really. Looking to move quite slowly with these, make sure they look cool and do them up proper. But yeah, just so you know, we're all assembled and ready to go. So yeah, that takes me to the end. I think that's everything. And I quite like this picture to end us on. Very apt for the month. But yeah, just a little update really with where we're at. Obviously, we've had the Masters now. We've done the live stream stuff for that. Got lots of Team England stuff. I'm currently in a Team England team tournament online, which is really cool to play loads of people, new people I've never played or spoken to or whatever, and hoping to see them at ETC later in the year. What else? That's probably it for now. With Team England, I'll obviously be focusing on the armies that I think I'm likely to take, which thankfully for me is going to be Highborns, Vampires or Warriors. So I'm looking to do a bit of research and get some experience with them, I guess. And it's really cool to be able to even think that I'm taking some of them to ETC, because they're my armies and what I love playing. So that'd be really interesting. So buckle up, everybody, for some chat on list building. If you've got any ideas, any suggestions, let me know. Probably more so in the Vampires. Vampires I really need to take a look at now. I've got to decide what I'm taking to Art of War, which is the next tournament as well. Honestly, don't know. I've got like 2 weeks as well, if that. So I've really got to come up with a list soon and paint, I guess. It'll be another 2 weeks of painting, which is good for this because it means that there'll be another update with lots of painting things, I'm sure, to look at. So yeah, Art of War coming up. Obviously we've got much more after that, but I'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much for joining and listening to my rabble. Just me ramble on for half an hour or whatever it was. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything discussed today. Going from the start, do you guys paint with your families, getting your daughters, your sons, your nephews or whatever into it? I've certainly had a lot of fun doing that with my dad and my kids. It's been really, really cool to see them get excited by painting models and then playing with them afterwards as well. That's really cool for me. So share with me any thoughts on that. Let us know what you thought of the Masters if you saw it, or if not, go and check it out. Just want to say thanks to everyone involved. It was just an amazing experience yet again, and third year running now we've done it. So yeah, looking to do that with everyone really. And continue on, but let's know your thoughts on that, how we could make the experience and the coverage of it better, what other things you'd be looking at in future years, what would be cool ideas to do content on, basically. Obviously Team England thoughts as well, if you've got any thoughts on if you play for an ETC team. If you're going to be at ETC, let me know, because I'll certainly want to buy you a drink when you're there and share an experience for sure. And what armies I should be taking in the next month or so, because I don't know. I've got so many ideas, and it'd be nice to see what other people think and whether or not that aligns with my thoughts. And if it does, I'll certainly be taking it and looking into it. So let us know everything. Also, I guess bearing in mind the hobby content, if you guys have tried hobby things or have any suggestions for me based on the things I've done on this video, so unit fillers, green stuffing, the spray area that you use, and suggestions for that, let us know. I'm really keen just to hear what everybody does and what you've been doing in this last month or so, and any cool projects to come. Otherwise, I think I'll leave it there, because there's not much else to talk about for now that I can think of. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Do check out those other content providers that I said, both on YouTube and podcasts everywhere. Check out our Patreon if you want that. That's still going. Still engaging with those people as well. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you later.